I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States. Yeah, there's a scam, every word of it.
American Griftstory. The Pledge of Allegiance is a scam to sell U.S. flags. In the late 1800s, magazine marketer James B. Upham created the Pledge of Allegiance to bilk children into buying American flags.
I'm not a bad guy. I'm an American. And I did what I did with the best of intentions.
Patriotism? Education?
That's right, money.
With waves of immigrants arriving in the United States at the end of the 19th century, many at the time believed it was important to instill a sense of national pride.
You've got to remember there were no national treasures back then. No Dolly Parton. No Lance Armstrong. Cardi B would be born for another 110 years. Kids needed something to look up to.
Upham worked in the marketing department for a magazine called The Youth's Companion, which was always hustling for side gimmicks to bring in additional revenue.
We didn't have an Anna Wintour budget like those millionaires over at Highlights for Children. You have any idea how high the day rate is for talent like Goofus and Gallant?
Upham convinced The Youth's Companion to sell flags.
While there's no evidence that I created Old Glory at the request of George Washington, it's important to keep the story going to maintain my reputation as a liar.
At the magazine, Upham spearheaded the Schoolhouse flag movement to hawk as many U.S. flags as possible.
James was adamant that he'd profit off the school children. Quite adamant. Like Mel Gibson adamant.
I want to see the flag over every schoolhouse! What's more, I want the children to put it there themselves! And I want them to raise the money to buy their flag!
I love this game.
Upham urged young readers to write to the magazine for free cards, which represented shares of school flags that they'd sell themselves.
This certificate, representing a 10-cent contribution, entitles the holder to one share in the patriotic influence of the school flag. It was the game stock of 1880.
When a kid sold 100 cards, they sent the money to the Youth's Companion and received a flag. That sum was the equivalent of around $300 in 2021 dollars, or $6.82 per star in 1891 stars.
I didn't see one dime. I could barely afford to cremate my 3 husbands.
Between 1888 and 1891, the Youth's Companion sold 25,000 flags. But that wasn't enough for Upham. So, in 1892, he concocted a new flag peddling scheme in connection with Christopher Columbus's 400th anniversary of discovering America.
I landed in the Bahamas.
Anticipating parades, fireworks, and other public events, Upham proposed centering each local celebration at a public school. The nub of this program must be what all the children say in unison when the flag is raised. It has to be some sort of pledge of allegiance to the flag. Yeah, they'll pledge allegiance to the flag, and at some point we'll come up with a catchier title. To ensure schools took part in the Columbus Day flag-raising ceremony,
I have nothing to do with America.
Upham went to Congress. And to write this new pledge, he tapped Francis Bellamy, an ex-minister that the Youth's Companion had on staff.
People think that I'm the one that added "under God," since I'm a preacher, but no, that got tacked on 50 years later. I pitched the phrase dilly dilly, but it didn't make the final cut.
With the pledge in place,
oh, we cut that Nazi-looking part.
Schools bought hundreds of thousands of flags.
We weren't printing magazines, we were printing money.
You realize I sewed flags until I went blind, right? But no, one of the most beloved and well-known women of American history couldn't possibly be telling the truth.
And what about the pledge?
Oh, it's wonderful.
Of course, Upham and the Youth's Companion really did seem to care about patriotism, and schools kept the pledge going long after the Columbus anniversary had passed.
I can't stress this enough. I have never stepped foot in your country.
But these campaigns all came out of the marketing and subscriptions department. Editorial wanted no part of it.
If this was purely about loving the nation, you'd think they have kids pledging allegiance to America itself first and foremost, not just a symbol of America.
Money is the symbol of America. And if you've got a problem with kids selling stuff to better their communities, don't take it out on me. Take it out on the Girl Scouts. All these things are great. Hi. If you like this video, we're going to be making more of them, so subscribe here at the Cracked YouTube channel, youtube.com/cracked. Hey, we have videos coming out every week, and these cookies are not real Girl Scout cookies. I don't really recommend them, but if they're our sponsor, I highly recommend them.